Hello and welcome to game two of the Stanley Cup Finals. Going to do some live commentary here. Just going to make sure everything's working. The national anthems have been sung. Yep, everything seems to be going well right here. As they do the chant before puck drop. Stuart Skinner starting for Edmonton. It's been a little shaky at times. Other times he's made some pretty big saves. Of course, let up 2 goals in game one. Bobrovsky, on the other hand, he had some very big saves in game one and practically won the game for his team. Of course, a shutout. But game two is underway. Edmonton sends it right in off the face-off win. But here comes Florida right up the ice. Barkov to Verhaeghe. Around the net, behind there, Barkov to Reinhart. This line is just so lethal for Florida. But in the right corner, Barkov going back and forth, trying to get around Connor McDavid. Both teams putting out their best to start this one. Forsling shot, save, Skinner, rebound to the right dot, gobbled up by Nugent Hopkins. And the Oilers will set up the attack. Ekholm in his own zone. Sends it ahead up the right side, but that goes all the way down for icing. 19:08 to go in the first period. Of course, Florida leading the series 1-0. And it's been a great Stanley Cup playoffs. You know, I've done these before. It's my first time this season. I usually come around for the playoffs. Of course, my Bruins didn't do as well as I would have liked, but Oilers send it all the way down. No icing that time. But here comes Florida. They send it in deep behind the net. It's regrouped there by Edmonton, but turned over. Sam Bennett in deep, trying to get it loose to Kachuk. Almost said the T in his name on that one. But here comes Draisaitl with some speed. Almost was able to drop it off to Henrique. But it was a bit too far ahead of him. The puck goes out of play. Sorry, I don't have a clock or anything like that, but I'll make sure to keep saying how much time is left. 18:25 to go. Early in this one, you know, they show in the replay here of Barkov during that first possession, just kind of killing some time in the corner, going back and forth. He eventually, got it loose to the point and was able to make a shot for Forsling. But Florida wins the neutral zone faceoff. They dump it in deep along the left corner behind the net. That's my dog Chloe making some noise. But it's Ekman Larson. And the Oilers enter the zone. Lundell's shot blocked out of play for the whistle. 1 second here. Sorry about that. Some unexpected interruptions. But didn't miss any game time. Back underway here. Oilers send it all the way down the ice. No icing once again. Bobrovsky plays it around his zone, and all the way down it goes to Ekholm, who will send it right back in. Mikkola. And now Brandon Montour, UMass product. Here comes Florida. They send it in deep. Ekholm's first to it, though, once again around the boards, but it goes to a Florida player. It's loose in the slot there, but taken care of by Carrick. Forked in deep. Forsling in his own zone. Drops it off for Ekblad. Top defensive pairing out there for Florida. Almost offsides was Barkov, but now it's Verhaeghe. Around the boards it goes to the right. Ekblad can't take control. Not much happening so far in this one. Only one shot for Florida. And now another whistle. Well, 16:47 to go in the first period. Face-off at center ice. Rodriguez and Draisaitl. It's won by Rodriguez. And taken over by Ekman Larson. Once again, sends it in deep. And now it's an icing on Florida. So very, very slow start to this one. McDavid, 0 points game one, didn't contribute at all. Well, no Oilers did, to be fair. Of course, no points were scored past Bobrovsky. It's going to be a face-off in the Florida zone. Draisaitl and Rodriguez again on the face-off, this time won by Draisaitl. Evan Bouchard throws it towards the net, blocked in front. Connor McDavid out there with Draisaitl. McDavid skating around the zone, cuts to the right, on the backhand, sends it across. Hyman couldn't get a stick on it. And Sam Bennett skates it out. And now it's Rodriguez. Enters the zone, gets it across the zone for Bennett. He tries to backhand it in deep, but now cuts back to the point. Shot there, saved by Skinner for a whistle. $16:06 to go. But yeah, it was just an offensive onslaught by McDavid there, showcasing his skating abilities. Back and forth he went around the zone, eventually sent it in front, but it went off a Florida player and no connection was made. And still no shots for Edmonton. Only the one for Florida still. Edmonton just barely gets the puck out of their own zone. And it's bouncing around in the neutral zone. Edmonton able to come away with it and send it in deep. Henrique trying to grab it from Ekblad, but to no avail as Florida sends it back into the Oilers zone. Carter Verhaeghe for Barkov. Barkov to the point for Mikkola, shot blocked in front. And now a shot by the Oilers is blocked out of play. It was Broberg, the defenseman, who made the rush there, and he also had the blocked shot. A good stick by Brandon Montour as that puck went out of play. 15:26 to go in the first period. Of course, the score 0-0. The slow starting game two. Luostarinen sends it in deep. Around the boards, Montour's shot blocked in front. A lot of blocks in front of both nets on both sides. Tarasenko tries to send it out front. Luostarinen jumps on the loose puck. The Nurse grabs it, but it's turned over at the blue line and almost would have been a chance for Lundell just past his reach, but he shoots it from the half wall, stopped. Another shot was also saved by Skinner. Montour keeps it in, backhands it past Skinner. Lucian jumps on the loose puck. Lundell out front for Okposo. No shot was made. Okposo grabs the puck in the neutral zone, gets it back in deep, but he had no help. Desharnais and tipped in by the Oilers. First to it is Lorentz. Lorentz starting the rush, flips it in to the right corner. Skinner plays it behind his net. And here comes Connor McDavid. Loses the handle, but it's to Hyman. And McDavid jumps the line offside. .14:06 to go. This is the kind of hockey that, fans tend to be frustrated with. Florida has 11 shot attempts, but only a couple of them have found the net. Edmonton, no attacking pressure yet. And of course, in game one, Edmonton had a lot of attacking pressure, but of course wasn't able to score. So Florida sends it in deep once again. Bouchard first to it behind his net. Sends it up to Carrick. And turned over. Oh no, there's a whistle. And looks like there's going to be a power play for the Oilers. Sam Bennett will go for tripping. So Edmonton, just when they weren't having any chances, they're going to get a break to start their attack on the power play. Tripping the call. Hello to you too. Happy Monday. Apologize if that comment was earlier. I got to remember to look at the chat. But after this commercial break, Edmonton to the power play. Just joining us past 14 minutes into this one. First media timeout in the 0-0 game. And Edmonton has 0 shots on net. Going to be able to change that here on their power play. And they have to, right? I mean, it's already going in the direction of Florida just a little bit. And, shame on Florida for giving Edmonton any chance. But, Edmonton's got to capitalize here, especially after a frustrating game one, after a frustrating first 5 or so minutes into this one. Almost through the commercials here. It's going to be the Connor McDavid show on the Edmonton power play. It always is. Probably try to find Hyman in that backdoor position. That's how Hyman's gotten most of his goals, right on the doorstep of the back door. They're 0 for 3 in game one, so no better time than the present to get on the board. And here we go. They've won the face-off. McDavid tried to send it out front, but it was blocked there, and Florida will skate it out. Lucian sends it cross corner. Stenlund fighting for it against Nugent Hopkins, and already almost 30 minutes gone on this power play. Panthers have killed they have killed 35 of the last 37 penalties. But it's Nugent Hopkins for Bouchard, and he'll send it back down low. McDavid keeps it going around the boards to the right. Draisaitl. Around the net, trying to get it out front, but it's Nugent Hopkins to McDavid, and he tried to send it across the zone to Draisaitl, but it's tipped out of play. For a whistle, Bobrovsky went down. Might have been some contact in front, but there's still 1:09 to go on this power play. 12:59 to go in the first. Good puck moving by the Oilers, just weren't able to get any shots on net, and they show the contact in front. Looks like Bobrovsky just might have tripped over the leg of Zach Hyman. But another faceoff here in the Florida zone. Goes behind the net of Bobrovsky, and it's cleared all the way down. Halfway through this power play. Bouchard behind his own net, skates out to the right, leaves it for Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl for Connor McDavid, who gets it into the corner. Might have lost a handle there. It seemed like that's the second or third time that's happened already in this one. And once again, Florida clears it down. Draisaitl can't get past Forsling, and it's cleared again. No success on this Oiler power play. McDavid for Draisaitl in the zone of Florida. Bouchard trying to get it across to Hyman. Good play by Ekblad. Now it's Draisaitl across once again. Ekblad says no, and that'll kill the power play. 2 defensive plays by Aaron Ekblad, not allowing a one-timer. But now it's Tkachuk. Puck goes right through the crease. Ekman Larson bomb over the net, out of play. For yet another whistle. I think it was saved by Skinner, caught a piece of his shoulder as the fans come to their feet in Sunrise. Five shots for Florida, and still none for Edmonton. No shots on that power play. No shots in the first 8 minutes and 23 seconds of this one. And Florida has an offensive zone draw. Carrick wins it from Sam Bennett. And here come the Oilers. They send it in deep. Bobrovsky plays it away from the Florida attack, or the Oiler attack. ESPN's showing this weird camera angle, having some trouble with it. But it's Carrick, and down goes Rodriguez. Shot, save, rebound, taken away by Carrick. And yeah, it was Rodriguez that just went flying over an Oiler player, and it was just an unfortunate contact there. Not at all intentional. Apparently, Darnell Nurse is missing from the Oiler bench. But here comes Florida once again. Tarasenko for Luostarinen. And it's going to be a trip. Is it on Florida or is it on the Oilers? As both teams come together, both players went down. Ref has the arm in the air. Luostarinen is down. And not sure what the call is going to be here. Might be some extra for the roughing that is going on currently. Luostarinen's still down. Luostarinen had the puck. Foegele, oh boy, he stuck out his leg and looked like a knee-on-knee hit. And that'll be, Luostarinen's leg just went in an awkward way, and that is going to be a penalty on Foegele, leading with the knee. Luostarinen not putting much weight on his left leg. And he'll go down the tunnel, it seems. So here's the call from the ref. It's going to be reviewed for a major penalty. So potential 5-minute major coming to the Edmonton Oilers. Potential major penalty for a knee by Warren Fogle, and it's a quick review. The refs already have the headsets off. And the call. 5-minute major penalty for a knee. The Panthers to the power play for the next 5 minutes. And they'll go to commercial. Ugh. The way Lusterin's leg buckled there does not look good. And I'll be surprised if we see him again. But it's Florida to the power play after this break. Of course, the score is still 0-0. About halfway through the first period. And nothing going the way of Edmonton. No shots on goal. And now a major penalty. They weren't able to convert it all on their power. And Edmonton is not liking what they're seeing right now. And Florida just with another major opportunity to kind of bury the Oilers early. If they can get at least one on this power play, it should set the tone for the rest of the game. I mean, the Oilers, like I said, still have 0 shots on net. It's not like they're going to get any for the next 5 minutes, so not looking good for Oil Country. They're back from the commercial break. According to ESPN, and the Oilers have killed 30 straight power plays. And that's a huge number, and they're going to need some of that right now. Surprised they went to commercial break. I was kind of confused. It's supposed to be an under 10 break, and there's 10:39 to go. So I guess it doesn't really matter anyways, but Florida will come onto the ice to set up their power play. As they're still kind of cleaning the ice. Bit of a delay here. But 6 shots for Florida, none for the Oilers. And this power play will begin. Face off to Stuart Skinner's right. It's won by Barkov. Montour steps up from the point to Verhaeghe. Tries to get it across the zone, but he gets it back to Montour. Now back to Verhaeghe. Left dot. Didn't shoot it, but he gets it back to Montour. Now over to Reinhart. Reinhart sends it around the boards to the left, all the way to the left point for Verhaeghe, who can't keep it in the zone. And Florida barely able to hold on to the puck here, but they'll regroup. They were also 0 for 2 in game 1. So Florida looking for the first power play goal of this series, as a shot from the point is saved by Skinner. Montour around the boards to Tkachuk, who gets caved in from behind, keeps it in the zone. Reinhart can't take control, and it's cleared over the line by the Oilers. A minute gone in the 5-minute major. Sam Reinhart at his own blue line. Back for Sam Bennett. Bennett still in his own zone. Gets it to Lindell and now to Ekman-Larsson. OEL to Rodriguez. Now to Bennett. Makes the entry on the left. Tarasenko sends it right out front, just beyond the reach of Evan Rodriguez, and it's cleared by the Oilers. Still no shots on this power play for the Cats. Rodriguez can't enter the zone cleanly, and there's going to be a penalty on Florida for tripping. Ekman-Larsson to the box, I think. Yep, it is. And that'll take a big chunk out of this 5-minute major. 3:23 remaining on the major penalty to Foegele, but now a 2-minute, 4-on-4 after the penalty by Ekman-Larsson. Went to throw a hit on Janmark, and he also stuck out his leg. Wasn't a knee at all, but tripped him with his skate. And 4-on-4 now. So the Panthers have bailed out the Oilers. No shots on that power play. That should resume after these 2 minutes. But now it's the Oilers with the chance to turn the tide against the Panthers. Draisaitl against Reinhart. And the Panthers come away with it and enter the zone. Reinhart behind the net. McDavid comes away with it. Gets it to Ekholm. It's a 2-on-1 up the ice. Ekholm with Draisaitl. Ekholm shot, scores! Mattias Ekholm, 5-hole goal, 1-0 Edmonton. The first shot for the Oilers finds the back of the net. Deadlock is broken. The unlikely goal scorer, Mattias Ekholm, you just got to think he's going to pass it across to Leon Draisaitl, but no. Goes for goal. It squeaks past Bobrovsky into the back of the net. A 4-on-4 goal. And just like that, the Oilers are in front. And that's the first goal of the series for the Oilers. And it's kind of a cheap one. Bobrovsky would like to have that one back. But now it's the Panthers setting up. Sam Bennett cuts towards the net. Montour, shot! Missed the net, had most of it, but it was actually tipped out of play. Not sure by who, but he didn't miss. It was blocked in front. And we'll see who it was. What a pass by Sam Bennett. And he hit the post off the crossbar. Oh, so it wasn't blocked. Montour just missed a pretty much wide open net. It's Rodriguez after a faceoff win. Now it's Lundell. Lundell leaves it for Draisaitl. Forsling didn't step up like Lundell thought he would. And Draisaitl in the corner fighting against Forsling for the puck. Forsling kicks it loose to Rodriguez. No harm, no foul for the Panthers. Here they come. Rodriguez makes the entry 3-on-2, drops it back for Lundell. Now to Ekblad, shot. Blocked in front, might have missed. Lundell shot, saved by Skinner. Or whistle. Ooh. Back and forth they go in Sunrise. Ekblad made a move around Ekholm, and it was saved by Skinner. Once again, most of the net was open, but just barely caught a piece of the glove of Skinner, who has made all 7 saves on all 7 Florida shots. But Bennett wins the faceoff. Forsling swings and misses for the one-timer, but they keep it in. Bennett can't get it back to Rodriguez, and he's pressured in the corner. Nugent Hopkins gets it loose. Kulak trying to get around Forsling. He does. He's tripped up, but there's no call coming. Almost had a chance to tuck it home. Kulak out front. Shot, I believe, by Broberg was tipped wide. But now it's Mikkola with the entry. Leaves it for Bennett, who will skate right back out of the Oilers zone to regroup. And that'll be the end of the 4-on-4. Now it's a 1 minute and 20-second power play for the Panthers. Reinhart through the neutral zone. Sends it into the right. Skinner behind his own net. Sends it back to the right. But now it's Brandon Montour. Shot! Saved by Skinner. And a whistle. 1:08 to go on the power play. 6:47 to go in the first. Ooh. Or it wasn't Kulak going to the net on that chance. It was Hyman. And Hyman was knocked down, almost had a chance to backhand it right past Bobrovsky, but he felt like he was interfered with, but not in the eyes of the referees. The Oilers win the defensive zone faceoff and send it the length of the ice. The linesman just waved off icing as if it would have been icing as Bobrovsky played it. But it's Barkov who turns it over, and here come the Oilers. Brown couldn't get a shot off as he's taken to the corner. And here comes Barkov. Barkov in the neutral zone sends it around the boards to the right. Far side digging for it there. Nugent Hopkins in the pile. So is Reinhart. Pressed up against the boards still. It's loose to Janmark, who flips it out. 13 seconds to go on the power play. Montour regroups in his own zone. And just when you thought Florida was going to have a major advantage on the major penalty, they take a penalty of their own, give up a goal, and can't take advantage of the major. 5-on-5 in Sunrise. Ekblad sending Holloway back. Ekholm is able to get it out, but Tarasenko stands up, an Oiler player who tried to hit him. But here comes Forsling. Sends it behind the goal. Skinner. And it's Bouchard. 5 minutes to go in the first. Here's Connor McDavid. McDavid skating up the left with some speed. Gets around a defender. Takes a shot. Saved by Bobrovsky. And here comes the Panthers once again. Almost Oposo was able to go ahead with it, but the Oilers send it right back the other way. Here's Ekman Larson in his own zone. Stutter step on McLeod, but Verhaeghe keeps it going to the neutral zone. Sent right back in by the blue and orange. Fighting for it behind the net of Bobrovsky. Evander Kane can't take control, and Florida not allowing any attack from the Oilers. Stuart Skinner jumps on the loose puck for a whistle. 4:05 to go in the first period. Looks like they'll take the final media timeout of the opening frame. But after all that chaos, it's the Oilers who stand atop of this one. Ekholm with the opening goal. 4 minutes to go. just joining us. Of course, 1-0 in favor of Edmonton, going through the final media timeout of the first period. About 4 minutes remaining in the opening frame as Panthers just trying to respond here. They've had most of the chances, most of the attacking time. It's flipped from the last game when it was, the Oilers with most of the chances, most of the attacking time, but it was the Panthers who were able to score the goals. Now it's the Oilers with only a couple shots. One of them is found of the back of the net, and that's been the difference. They're back from the commercial break. Chris Knobloch being interviewed by ESPN. The funny kid behind the Edmonton coach. It'll be a face-off in the Oilers zone to finish out this first period. Won by Rodriguez, but it's taken over by Holloway. Makes the entry, gets around the net, hit by Tkachuk. Mikkola can't grab the puck, but eventually the Panthers send it in to the Oilers zone. Tkachuk can't get it to Rodriguez, and here comes Draisaitl up the right side with some speed, takes a shot, misses the net. Here comes Tkachuk right back the other way, gets it in front, and one more pass by Rodriguez, trying to find Bennett, but he wasn't where he thought he'd be. Rodriguez turns it over to McDavid. Connor McDavid showing off his speed as always. Shot saved by Bobrovsky. The rebound to the end boards. McDavid and Ekblad go down. Ekblad looks to be in some serious pain. But here comes the Panthers once again. Ekblad for Bouchard. Excuse me, it was Ekholm, not Ekblad. And now it's Ekholm again. And here comes Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins for Ekholm. Around to the right side of the zone, but it's stopped by Bobrovsky and sent back the other way to the far side. Ekholm can't get it, and it's Barkov sending it out front, and a save by Skinner after Tarasenko tipped it on. .225 to go in the first period. Good pass by Barkov to Vladimir Tarasenko. Ooh, and Ekblad's ankles seemed to bend as he went down. Oh, yes. All of McDavid's weight went down on that right ankle, and you could immediately see that he was in some discomfort. Oilers send it all the way down after a face-off win. Montour keeps it going to the far side, and that goes all the way down. No icing. McLeod. And the Oilers in their own zone. Brown sends it ahead. Kane can't grab it. Stenlund does. Now it's Mikkola. Can't make the exit. McLeod for Brown. Saved by Bobrovsky. Here comes, I think it was Lundell. Couldn't really see as nothing came of the chance anyways. The Oilers will sit with the puck in their own zone. Bouchard makes a move around a couple Oilers in the neutral zone. Sends it towards the net. Saved by Bobrovsky. Here's Tarasenko. Can't get it past the blue line, and it's sent back the other way. Ekholm with the only goal in this one with a minute to go in the first period. Oilers in their own zone. Said that a lot in this first period. And they're having trouble getting through the neutral zone as play has been stopped. And another penalty. A rough on Bouchard behind the play. So now it's the Panthers who go back to the power play. Bouchard just took a shot at the face of Tkachuk right in front of the referee. Puck nowhere in sight. And Florida has 46 seconds to score if they want to do it in the first period. For 2 tonight, only one shot. Of course, the 5-minute major was disrupted by a penalty of their own. That's Barkov and Nugent Hopkins on the draw to Stuart Skinner's right. The Oilers have killed 32 straight penalties. The puck is dropped and no one really went after it, but now Florida takes control. Verhaeghe for Reinhart and back to Verhaeghe. And back to Reinhart playing catch along the left side in the corner. But it's Montour's shot off the end boards and cleared by Edmonton. 20 seconds to go. One last rush, perhaps, for the men in red. Verhaeghe for Barkov, kept in by Montour, not for long, cleared all the way down. 5 seconds to go. That'll be the end of the first period. 1-0 in favor of Edmonton. Mattias Ekholm, the difference with a 4-on-4 goal. And we'll head to intermission break. And we're going to take a quick break for the second period. And we'll be right back on this stream. The Panthers won, and the Oilers do not have one. Or no, the Oilers do have one. The Panthers don't. Excuse me. And we'll be back. Welcome back to the stream. Start of the second period here. 1-0 Edmonton after 20 minutes. And getting ready to begin period number 2. They show some highlights from the first period. Sorry, just making sure we're all set here. All right. McDavid, 2 shots, 1 assist. Florida will resume on the power play. And here we go. They've dropped the puck. Florida wins the face-off. Reinhart dumps it in. 2 Florida players skate beyond the puck, and Nugent Hopkins sends it the length of the ice. Montour for Tkachuk. Tips into the zone and icing. Bit too far on that one. 50 seconds still remain on the Evan Bouchard roughing penalty back from the first period as he hit Tkachuk in the face. And they'll drop the puck to Bobrovsky's right. Faceoff is won by Reinhart. Barkov back to Reinhart, his own blue line. Wrists it in around the boards. Funny bounce, perhaps off the Zamboni doors there in the corner. And it goes the way of the Oilers, who clear it, but I believe it went out of play. So probably is going back. Oh, no. It's a penalty. A hook on Florida. Yep. 4-on-4. Florida negates another one of their own power plays. I apologize for not knowing exactly what happened. These penalties are just happening on the other. The hook couldn't have happened away from the play. But it's Matthew Tkachuk to the box. Edmonton wins the face-off. And it's Aaron Ekblad in his own zone. Forsling for Sam Bennett. Bennett makes a move on McDavid. Trying to get through the neutral zone. Cuts back for Ekblad. Ekblad with the entrance. And a shot by Florida. Sam Bennett is saved by Skinner. My dog's causing trouble again. Why are you crying? Come on. Sorry about this. Does not help. Here comes Edmonton after a face-off win. Luckily, both times I've taken care of the dog. We didn't miss anything. But Florida sends it right back into the Edmonton zone, where the Oilers will have a 1 minute and 7 second power play. Here comes McDavid. Sends it for Nugent Hopkins on the left. Back for Bouchard. Bouchard to Nugent Hopkins. Now McDavid back to Nugent Hopkins. Top of the slot. Across to Draisaitl. Blocked in front. But Barkov comes away with it to Forsling and cleared now by Ekblad. Bouchard regroups. Bouchard Leaves it for McDavid with some speed, makes the entry on the left. McDavid back for Bouchard. Bouchard sends it over to Draisaitl. Back to Bouchard, one-timer blocked by Stenlund. And cleared. 98 miles per hour on that shot. But Stenlund retrieves the puck out front for Bennett. Missed the net. Wow, almost a shorty. And Bennett regroups in the neutral zone, sends it back for Skinner, and that's the end of the Edmonton power play. Now it's Sam Bennett in the neutral zone, coming right back into the Oilers zone. He makes a move, backhands it wide of the net, but now it's Forsling bomb blocked out of play. Two big shots and two big blocks, one for either side. As Stenlund retrieves the puck, gets it out front, and we see the Bennett shot did miss the net. Caught it on the heel of his stick. It wasn't able to put it in the place that he wanted it. Went further right than he would have liked. Panthers win the faceoff in the Oilers zone. Tarasenko save by Skinner. It was a one-timer from Tarasenko, but not much danger as Skinner was true to the test. Game 3 Thursday night as the series shifts to Edmonton. Faceoff will be to Stuart Skinner's left. Panthers going left to right. Oilers going from the right to the left. In this middle period, 16:48 to go. As ESPN shows another weird angle where you can't really see the players. It's Montour to Ekblad. A shot was saved by Skinner. Ekman Larson it was. All I could see was the beard. So 16:39 to go in the second period. Ekholm's goal back on the first remains the only tally of the game. So they show some shots of the fans, some Edmonton fans in attendance. Face-off won by the Oilers. It goes all the way down the ice. Edmonton's offsides. And, yep, they're going to call it. They didn't even know. And they're going to send the puck all the way back to the Edmonton zone, I think, because they're calling intentional. It looks like. Not exactly sure. I mean, the referee had his arm in the air for a good couple of seconds. They should have known they were offsides. The linesman, that was. And still not sure where this face-off's going to be. Oh, it will be in the Oilers zone as they finally cut back to the ice. So the Oilers end up winning it and send it all the way down for an icing. Gosh, these teams just play so boring sometimes. I don't know if it's just the Oilers or what. I mean, I don't think the Panthers to be particularly boring, but and to be fair, I haven't watched a lot of Edmonton hockey this postseason, but they seem to play a pretty slow game, especially for a team that has guys like Connor McDavid, who are some of the who was one of the fastest skater in the league. But Florida turns it over in the neutral zone. Draisaitl can't hit Holloway. Would have been a dangerous chance for Holloway breaking into the zone, but Draisaitl just missed the pass. Now it's Rodriguez trying to capitalize. He gets tripped up at the blue line, and the Oilers make Montour retreat. It's sent right back into the Oilers zone. Henrique in his own zone. Ekblad stepping up from the point in the corner, fighting against McDavid. Tkachuk goes down in front of the net, and he's sat on by Henrique as McDavid will turn on the Jets. Instead, he'll pass it off right to Florida. Tried to make a change, but the puck went right back to his stick, and now it's Ekblad making the entry on the right. Ekblad's shot saved by Skinner. Behind the net, Reinhart. Now it's to the point, and now Verhaeghe shot saved by Skinner in the glove. 15:04 to go in the middle frame. $14 shots for Florida, 4 for Edmonton. In a game that's close, but not exciting close, if that makes any sense. It's been fairly slow moving. Not much action. Florida will try to prove me wrong here as they win the offensive zone draw, but they'll send it into the corner for no one. And here comes Edmonton once again. But they're stopped at the red line. And now Edmonton ices it. Okay. Right dot face off in the zone of Edmonton. But Reinhart will be kicked out, and will come Barkov for the draw. 14:46 to go. If we'll ever drop the puck. It's won by the Oilers. Skinner steers it to the far side of the zone, and now it's Bouchard for Carrick. Carrick cuts back behind his own goal. Verhaeghe loses his stick, and it's sent up to Ekholm, who slaps it to the right side of the zone. It kicks to the left. Ekblad first to it. Ekman Larson in to help out. Here comes Florida. Barkov. Shot wide of the net. Might have surprised Skinner there. Might have been intentionally wide. Puck rides the dasher to the far corner. Verhaeghe keeps it in on the point. Ekholm clears it to the Oiler half of the neutral zone, but it's sent right back to the stick of Matthias Ekholm as delayed offsides on the Panthers. Ekholm only goal scorer in this one. Here comes Zach Hyman. Hyman held without a goal in these first 2 games, even though he leads the playoffs in goals. He'll shoot. I believe it hit the side of the net. Another shot saved by Bobrovsky. Rebound. Nugent Hopkins. Intentionally wide from the point. Hyman on the board battle with Lundell and Montour. It's loose. Nugent Hopkins couldn't get the handle in the right slot. And here's Florida. Luostarinen back on the ice after getting a knee to his leg. And here's McDavid. He'll chip it in on Bobrovsky, steer it aside. Lundell spins it middle, but sent right back in. Half wall battling there, but Florida sends it the length of the ice. Draisaitl up the far side. The Germany native can't take control, and here comes Florida. Back and forth. Not much chances on either side, but they are going back and forth. Stenlund. Down low, Lorentz isn't there for it. Desharnais pressed up against the boards. Puck's up and out of play. Puck pops up. Not pucks up, whatever I said. As Florida ices it. 12:08 to go in the second period. Shots 14 for Florida, 5 for Edmonton, almost halfway through this game. Face off to Borowski's right, won by Florida. And sent to the neutral zone. But it's McDavid. Cross ice pass to Bouchard, and now back to McDavid, who skies it into the left corner. Ekman Larson against the grain. Hyman jumps on it. It pops up in front of Oposo, who is able to get it out. Broberg. Cross corner dump. Ekman Larson. Stenlund sends it halfway towards the point, but right back behind the goal line. Hyman makes a hit. The Florida defender. Broberg for McDavid to Bouchard, makes a move towards the slot, leaves it for McDavid, who cuts back and now cuts in. Left dot shot. I think it hit Kulikov and went wide. Broberg can't get it deep. Stenlund skates it out, skies it deep, icing. $10:53 to go in the second. Fourth line on the ice for the Panthers, nearing 2 minutes of ice time, stuck out there. But the faceoff is won, and it's cleared down the ice again. They're able to get a couple guys off, but the Oilers looking to catch the Panthers in a change, but they're offsides. Wow. A couple players come together, 10:40 to go in the second period. They'll go to break. Not much to say about first half of this period. Lots of icings, lots of offsides, a couple penalties. And you got to think this series is going to jump to the next level at some point. And it seems to not have that capability just yet. Especially the Oilers. I mean, frankly, they're lucky to be winning this game. And Florida, I feel, could easily have thrown a counterpunch of their own at this point, but they simply haven't. And I think it's because the effort isn't fully there. I mean, they're being a little bit sloppy. They're icing the puck a couple times, and not much to show for any effort because of that. Almost through these commercial breaks, the first of the second. period. And if you told me that only one player would score up until this point in the game, at least for Edmonton, I don't think anyone would guess it would be Matthias Ekholm, as they'll interview Paul Maurice. Yeah, he just said too much neutral zone. So just not much attack. Both goalies haven't really been tested yet. Of course, Florida does have the majority of the shots, 14 on Skinner, who has saved all of them, but not many high danger chances. At least in this period. I can think of a couple from the last one. But the Oilers won the neutral zone face-off, and they'll give it right up. Brandon Montour in his own zone, up for Tarasenko, who sends it to Lindell on the entry. Lindell back for Mikkola. He scores! Counter punch delivered. Tie game in Sunrise. Mikkola almost scored on his own goal earlier in that sequence, but it was Lundell who dropped it off for the clap bomb by Mikkola right past the glove of Skinner. Not much height, not much of a problem for the Panthers. Tie game. And here they come again. Rodriguez shot is blocked, sent out front. Henrique is able to get it out to Janmark. And now here comes Holloway. Holloway tries to spin it to Janmark, but it's cleared by the Panthers. Holloway in front of the Oilers zone. It's taken over by Sam Bennett. Excuse me. That's Tkachuk. Now Bouchard, who sends it around the boards, but it's right to Reinhart, who passes it off to Tkachuk, and Forsling shot went tipped in wide. Bouchard jumps on the loose puck and barely gets it over the line. Janmark with the behind the back home makes the entry intentionally wide of Bobrovsky, waiting for reinforcements. Ekblad first to it. Now it's Gustav Forsling. Tipped into the zone. Skinner plays it away, and it pops out of play for a whistle. 9:08 to go in the second period. They will take the second media timeout, but not before Mikkola scores in his moment. 1-1. I got to update the score. One. Some more. All right. Well, now we have ourselves a game tied over halfway through the second. The Panthers weren't really creating much for themselves. Of course, like I was saying, most of the chances, but like what they just did. And there you go. Tie game in game 2. Almost to these commercials here. They're back from the break. They'll show the Mikula goal once again. And they're dropping the puck with no camera on it. Oilers come away with it. I can only tell you what I see, and sometimes that's not much. I apologize for that. Puck is in the corner. Kulak fighting for it there, but it's loose to Verhaeghe. Now it's Reinhardt pressed up against the boards behind the net of Skinner, Kulak, and Carrick trying to grab it, but it's Barkov who comes away with it. He'll send it to the near point, kept in by Kulikov. Now it's Verhaeghe around the net, trying to cut back, but he's pressed up against the boards once again by Carrick. Verhaeghe hit off the puck. Broberg grabs it. He'll skate out, no problem. And he'll turn it over, no problem. And it's Rodriguez. 2-on-1. Tkachuk. Shot. Saved by Skinner. Rebounds loose. Montour. Shot wide. Tried to find the backdoor tip of either Tkachuk or, I believe, Bennett. Just wide. Bennett. Shot. Saved by Skinner. Rebound behind the net. Draisaitl retrieves. Now it's Holloway and Gentry. Makes a move. Cuts back in the corner. Now to the point. Shot. Saved by Bobrovsky. Rebound. Holloway sends it way wide from his knees. And Bennett rainbows it down. Draisaitl for Holloway. Barely onside, but a nice play from behind by Luostarinen to clear the zone. Forsling for Luostarinen. And sent right back in by the Oilers. Gustav Forsling first to it. Tarasenko in to help out. He's plastered by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and it's loose out front. Hyman to the point, and it's barely sent over the line after a bouncing puck. But here comes the Panthers once again. Lundell trying to get it out front. Tarasenko, good play by Ekholm to not allow that to happen. And McDavid's tripped up. And perhaps a delayed penalty on the way here. Yes. Extra attacker on. And Florida still has not touched the puck. McDavid for Bouchard. Back to McDavid. Circles back to the point, and it's touched up by Florida. 4 whistle. 6:05 to go on the second. Edmonton to the power play. It's going to be a trip. Carter Verhaeghe tripped McDavid as he was trying to break out of his own zone with the skate. And down Connor went. And against the power play, both teams very unsuccessful on the power play in these first, game and a half. Edmonton is now 0 for 5 between game 1 and game 2. The Panthers win the defensive zone draw. Forsling switched in by Bouchard, sent towards the net. Sticked wide, and now Stenlund will Sent out of play. And I believe it was almost a delay of game. And they're chatting about it now. Looks like it went right out of play over the bench and into the crowd. They cannot review this play, but it seemed clear as day. This would be a 5-on-3. But they're still chatting about it. And what's the call? So no delay of game. I was trying to listen there. I apologize. But I guess it's only because he was still in his own zone. And I believe that's one of the things that might be changing next year. The ability to review these delay of games. But it's Hyman for Draisaitl and back to Bouchard at the point. Over to Draisaitl, right dot. Back to Bouchard, bomb wide and out of play. Oh, he hit the post. Wow. A dent. But now it's McDavid. Draisaitl. Bouchard back to Draisaitl. Right dot. They're swinging it around. Hopkins assumes Draisaitl's position on the right. Now back to Nugent Hopkins. Down low. Draisaitl by Bobrovsky. For a whistle. 58 seconds to go on the Edmonton power play. 5:03 remaining in the second. It was a bad angle shot by Draisaitl. Probably would have went in as Bobrovsky funny to his left and was able to awkwardly make the save. Ooh. Now the face-off will be to Bobrovsky's left. It's won by the Oilers. Nugent Hopkins and Draisaitl tried to send it out front. And here come the Panthers. It out was Luostarinen. Bouchard, David. Through the neutral zone and in. Connor McDavid sets up shop. Bouchard back to McDavid, left dot. McDavid spins back, skates towards Shard. Now back to McDavid. And Ryan Nugent Hopkins out front. One too many passes, perhaps. A couple seconds remain on this power play. McDavid. Now Nugent Hopkins. And back to Bouchard. Now Nugent Hopkins once again. And over to McDavid. McDavid to Nugent Hopkins. Bouchard fakes the shot to Draisaitl. Now Bouchard. Bomb. Blocked wide. That'll end the power play. But it's Nugent Hopkins' shot. Off the crossbar. Another shot wide. And Florida skates it out. Verhaeghe into the zone. Around to the left corner. He'll stay there for a shot. Saved by Skinner on the one-timer. And now another whistle. A slash on Evander Kane. Or excuse me, Evan Bouchard. But still, it is on Edmonton. And Florida now goes to the power play. And they called it on the hands. Tough call there. It was up high on the stick, and you can't do that. But it wasn't much of a harm. But they'll call it for slashing. And after this break, Florida to the power play. If you're just joining us, last commercial break of the second period. Game is tied at 1 after Mikkola was able to tie the game earlier this period. And now it's Florida to the power play with about 3:40 remaining in the second period, almost through these commercials. And they're back from commercial break. Amarant Bank Arena hosting game 2. Edmonton wins the draw and clears it down. But here comes, send it back for Sam Reinhart. Reinhart, the former Buffalo Sabre. Reinhart in the corner. And sent out by Ekholm. 30 on the Bouchard slash. Verhaeghe makes a move. Gets into the zone. And by, I believe it's Draisaitl. Or no, it's Connor Brown. Send it deep. And now it's Janmark in the Florida zone. Broberg shot up high and wide. Brown wasting some time. Another 30 seconds gone. Reinhart with the entrance on the right. Tkachuk can't keep it in. Cleared again by Edmonton. Power plays for either team. Not at all. Rodriguez makes the entrance. Gets it to Tarasenko. Shot saved by Skinner for a quick whistle. 39 seconds remain on the power play. 2:19 to go in the second. Face off to Skinner's right. One by the Oilers. Can't get it out though. Rodriguez saved by Skinner once again. And Lundell does a bit of a sell job on a cross check. I don't believe the officials picked it up though. What a pass by Rodriguez. Bennett was all alone in front. Bennett to go, had to take a couple whacks at it. Well, he was able to settle it down and then shoot it, but by the time he was able to shoot it, he was right in front of Stuart Skinner. Hugged the puck to his chest. Exactly 30 seconds remain on the Florida power play. They're up to 21 shots in this one, 7 shots for the Oilers. Wins the faceoff, and he'll give it up to Broberg behind the net of Skinner. And Oilers clear the line Ekman-Larsson skates back to in front of Bobrovsky's crease. Bennett for Tarasenko. Trying to find Bennett once again, but it's turned over and cleared all the way down. Seconds ticking off of the Florida power play. 3 to go, 2 to go, 1 to go. It's over. But Florida will once again, and they'll make a change after the dump. So now it's Ekholm. Tries the bank pass and is able to find Draisaitl, who whips it right in. Around the boards to the left, Ekblad can't get it out. Ekholm keeps it momentarily. Verhaeghe skates it out. Puck going to either side, and now it's deflected out of play with 1:16 to go. Macklin Celebrini in attendance. Of course, the Boston University forward and the aspiring number 1 overall pick. Bouchard sends it in. Ekblad sends it out. Bouchard to Ekholm in the neutral zone. And a hand pass for Whistle. They show Celebrini once again. BU was able to make it to the Frozen Four, but were knocked out by Denver, who would go on to win the national title in Minnesota. As Florida clears it down for yet another ice. 3.4 to go. Well, this game might not have all the fireworks, but one team's going to come out on top, and tie games are fun games. So Edmonton will look to do just that, come out on top with this offensive zone draw under in the second period. Ekholm, after a face-off win to Bouchard, slapper blocked in front, and it's deflected out of the zone. Verhaeghe cuts back after the entrance. He shoots it towards the net. Deflected wide. Ekblad steps up from the point. Bouchard sends it around right to Verhaeghe. Makes a move. Left and Reinhardt. It goes off of his skates and to the right corner. Barkov's shot saved by Skinner. Deflected out of play. 22 shots to 7 in favor of the Panthers. So the Oilers are going to probably end 2 periods with less than 10 shots, which is less than ideal for them and for a competitive game's sake. But it's Henrique against Rodriguez. Left dot face off. Face-off's about even as 20 seconds to go. Oilers looking to make one last push, but they're offsides. Whistle after whistle. Down to 17.8 to go. Henrique will take the draw as they're jousting with one another. Rodriguez wins the faceoff back to Montour. Montour skates it up to Mikkola. Now Rodriguez around the boards to the right. 5 seconds to go. Can they get one last shot? 2 seconds, 1 second. Not going to happen. That's the end of the second period as Montour and McLeod exchange slashes. And through 40 minutes, we're tied at 1 apiece. Intermission. And with that, we're going to take a break. We'll be back for the third period. Welcome back for the third period of play. Not exactly sure what happened to my camera, but I guess it works. Just got to put up the scoreboard here as they drop the puck. And the third period's underway. Still 1-1 the score. As the Oilers skated in, Zach Hyman shoots it through the crease. Didn't catch any of Bobrovsky. Hyman again. Shot from the top of the slot, blocked out of the zone. Ekholm up the far side into the Florida zone. Forsling first to it. He's pressured by McDavid, but it's loose to Mikkola, the Florida goal scorer. Broberg trying to get it away from Tkachuk. Bennett takes down Broberg with a big hit, and Tkachuk grabs the puck. But he gives it away to McDavid, who sends it up to Nugent Hopkins, and now it's a shot that's saved by Bobrovsky. Henrique sends it around to the right point, Desharnais. And down low, Draisaitl sends it out front. Holloway whacking at it. Henrique's shot saved by Bobrovsky and cleared down. Kulak behind his own net. 8:30 to go in the third period. Score still tied at 1. Henrique in the neutral zone. Sends it right in to the Florida zone. But it's Lundell who's able to grab it. Can't get it out. Sent back in by Carrick to pressure Ekman Larson. But it's Lundell. Can't get it away from Carrick. But Luostarinen pressures Holloway. And now Florida gets it out and ahead for Kulikov. Kulikov can't get around Desharnais. And it's Lundell stepping up. Makes a move. Left dot. Skating through traffic, locked up with Carrick. Fans want to call, not going to come, and it's cleared by Edmonton. Apologize if I'm lagging at all. Doing the best I've got with the system I have. McLeod in his own zone for Ekholm, the Edmonton goal scorer. Up for Brown. And Florida takes control again. Lorentz wires it around the boards to the right. Pozo can't grab it. Kept in on the line. Pozo again. Banks it off the inboards to Rodriguez. Trying to get it out front. Rodriguez. Shot scores! Evan Rodriguez. Florida takes the lead in the third. Just like that. Rodriguez again. His second goal of the series. The second goal of the game for Florida. And they're on top. Just pinballing around the left dot there, and it came right back to Rodriguez's stick. Might have tipped off of Ekholm over the blocker of Skinner for the goal. 5th goal of the playoffs for the former Penguin. Edmonton ices the puck. And just like that, the lack of shots are catching up with the Oilers. Still only 9 shots compared to Florida's 23. 2 of them have found the back of the net. Fans are still on their feet in Florida. Face off on the left dot, McDavid and Barkov. Won by Barkov. Rodriguez, the goal scorer, turns it over in the Oilers zone. McDavid over the blue line. Now it's Hyman in the corner. Now it's at the point. Broberg sends it back to Hyman in the right corner. McDavid behind the net. Skating around, back and forth he goes. Left dot towards the point. Bomb there. Stopped by Bobrovsky. Kulak with the one-time slapper. No problem for Bobrovsky as the Oilers send it right back in, but it's to the stick of Gustav Forsling. Forsling, his pass is tipped, but it's Draisaitl who jumps on it. Ekholm up the far side. Henrique into the zone. Bobrovsky plays it behind his goal. Draisaitl. Harnais shot from the point and blockered with ease by Bobrovsky. Bennett to Tkachuk. Shot blocked by Ekholm. And it's out of the zone for Edmonton. Henrique with the entrance. Holloway trying to get it out front. Bennett says no. Down goes a Florida player as the puck pops right out front. Draisaitl couldn't tuck it home, and he'll send it right to the stick of Verhaeghe. Battle along the half wall on the near side. Bouchard keeps it in. Ekholm, left point. Sends it intentionally wide and all the way around the boards where it's sent out on the near side. Ekholm to Bouchard. Sends it in on the right. Ekman Larson and Carrick come together, fighting for it behind the net of Bobrovsky. Carrick sends it around to the left. Shot there. Blocked. Can't be kept in by Broberg. Bouchard regroups. Bouchard to Broberg. Speed makes the entry. Gets it to McDavid on the left. Cuts back to the point. Broberg slapper. Blocked by Tarasenko. Janmark to Kulak. Shot awkwardly saved by Bobrovsky for the whistle. Players come together with 14:11 to go in the third. Edmonton trying to turn up the heat here. They know that they just can't go down 2-0. That would be almost impossible to come back from. As one of the shots from the point was tipped right on by Lundell. It hit his skate, and Bobrovsky was able to stop it, which is why it was just a little bit awkward for him because it was going to go wide, but then off of Lundell's skate, and Bobrovsky was able to still make the save as the faceoff will be to his right. It's won by Florida, skied out by Ekblad. Ekholm knocks it down. Barkov harasses him. Rodriguez comes up with it. He shoots it towards the net. Blocked. Barkov almost sent home the rebound. But now it's Nugent Hopkins who backhands it just over the line, but it hit a stanchion and stayed right there. And both the Florida and Edmonton players just skated right past it. And now it's Florida. Barkov shot, saved by Skinner. Rebound to the corner. Tkachuk around the net. On the backhand, he skates to the left and sends it back to the right. First to it is Bennett, who gets it to the point for a shot there that's deflected out of play for another whistle. 13:20 to go in the third period. Florida with double the shots and double the lead as we head to the first intermission break of the third. Evan Rodriguez, his goal is the difference in Sunrise. And time is running out for Edmonton. They're only in this because of a Bobrovsky mistake on the. It was a bit of a high danger chance for Ekholm. I mean, it went in the back of the net, but Bobrovsky will say he'd like to have it back. Of course, they came all the way back in the first period, and that's the only offense that Edmonton is able to muster this whole series. I mean, we're into the 6th period of the series, and there's only been one goal scored for Edmonton. They're just barely over 10 shots in this one. So the offense has just been stonewalled by almost to these commercials. I have under 14 to go in the third and final period. Evan Rodriguez has more goals in these two games than all of Edmonton. They're back from the commercial. They'll line up for the face-off, but they're not going to show it on the TV. Here we go. Henrique and Stenlund on the face-off draw to the left of Skinner. Won by Florida, tipped high by Oposo after a Kulikov shot. Edmonton is barely able to get it out. Kulak sends it into the zone, but it comes right back out and down to Broberg at his defensive zone. Sent back in by Edmonton. McLeod to the left, and it gets past Henrique, and Florida takes advantage by clearing it out. Broberg didn't know where it is. Oposo does. He's able to get it in to the Edmonton zone. Skinner turns it over. Now at the point, Ekblad shot saved by Skinner. Rebound cleared by Edmonton. Forsling in front of Bobrovsky for Barkov to the neutral zone and in almost offsides as it hit Rodriguez. And a little miscommunication there allows the Oilers to take control. Draisaitl for Bouchard. Awkward pass almost found Ekblad in front of the net as the forecheck is raging for Florida. Rodriguez, though, turns it over, and now it's McDavid for Draisaitl far side. Backhands it on to Bobrovsky. Bennett comes away with it. Can't get it out. It's to Forsling, who banks it off glass and all the way down. And they call it icing. Could have went without that, but Edmonton will get the offensive zone face-off. There was an Ekblad shot from the point early in that sequence, and it was tipped by Barkov, who flung his stick downward at the puck. Skinner was able to make the positional stop. Bouchard shot blocked in front. McDavid to Bouchard. Cross point. Ekholm shot loose in front. Bobrovsky stands tall. Tkachuk clears it. Bouchard for Nugent Hopkins. Back to Bouchard in his own zone off the half wall and kept in by Tkachuk. Bennett tries to find Verhaeghe out front, but Skinner jumps on the loose change. $11:17 to go in this third period. 2-1 the score, and I have not updated it as I say that. Face-off won by Edmonton. Apologize for that. Sent in and kept in by Desharnais, whose shot is tipped wide. Mikkola is able to clear the zone, and that's been the problem for Edmonton. They just can't keep the puck in the zone. They can't get sustained attacking time. Desharnais steps up from the point, trying to keep it in is Evander Kane. He's able to, and it's McLeod to the point for Nurse. His shot is blocked to the right side of the zone. McLeod, Montour is able to free it up, and it's skated ahead. Luostarinen backhands it deep, and will change halfway through the third, just about. Desharnais behind Stuart Skinner. 26 shots for Florida, 13 for Edmonton. Connor Brown with some speed skates up the left side. Attempted shot by Kulak was blocked and cleared all the way down for a Florida icing. 9:53 to go. Face-off will be to Bobrovsky's right. It's won by Florida. Ekman Larson up the near side, all the way down for another icing. And just kudos to Florida for keeping the Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman. Those are the three forwards on the ice right now as Draisaitl gets thrown out of the faceoff dot. McDavid will jump in against Stenlund. Bit of a mismatch out there right now for Florida, but they'll get a lucky break as the puck goes out of play. So 9:43 to go. 3 whistles in a row means commercial break. Second commercial break of the game, or of the period, excuse me. And still, the Evan Rodriguez tally remains the difference. Just about done with these commercials. One or two more. Back from commercials. I'll show some audio clips from a couple players both coaches. And the face-off will be to Bobrovsky's left. On the right dot. One by Florida. Sent to the neutral zone, where Ekholm will stop it there and send it ahead. Draisaitl hits a Florida player who goes down, and it's Barkov, and they blow it dead, even though the Oilers had the puck, and now there's a scrum. I mean, Barkov seemed to just flop. He wanted a call. That's why he's down right now. He got a glove to the face. He'll live. Okay, maybe it was more of an elbow. Man, it's not much. Nothing to blow the whistle for when the other team has the puck. And they're going to talk about this to maybe assign a penalty to Leon Draisaitl. I mean, at the maximum, it'll be a minor for elbowing. And says Barkov will skate to the bench under his own power. They'll show the replay and make an announcement. And it is a minor penalty on Leon Draisaitl. They call it roughing. So they can't even call it elbowing because they didn't see an elbow. So they'll call it rough just because Barkov got hurt. So Leon to the box. Florida with another chance to extend their lead. 9:28 to go in the third. Face off. Just Skinner's right on the left dot. Sam Bennett and Carrick on the draw. Won by Florida. Reinhart in the corner. Nugent Hopkins pressures him, but it's Bennett now, pressured by Ekholm, kept in by Tkachuk. Verhaeghe's tip went just wide. Montour to Verhaeghe, shot blocked by Desharnais. The rebound sent down the ice. Montour banks it off the boards back to Bennett. Sam Bennett with some speed makes the entry. Verhaeghe, bad angle shot, missed the net as he had Reinhart streaking up the far side. Probably would have been an easy tap in, but Verhaeghe didn't see him. Board battle in the corner. Tkachuk frees it up to Montour's shot. Might have been saved by Skinner. Brown backhands it the length of the ice. Montour for Ekblad and back to Lundell, over to Rodriguez, the second goal scorer for Florida. It's deep. Ekblad falling down is Henrique, but it's Lundell to Ekman Larson, shot just wide of the net. Rodriguez back to Ekman Larson, the second unit out for Florida. Right dot, back to Ekman Larson, but the Behind the back, no-look pass didn't connect. It looks like another Florida power play is going to come and go with no success. But it's Lundell. Out front, score! Rodriguez! Power play goal! Florida, 2-goal lead. And just when I said it wouldn't be successful, Edmonton had killed like 35 straight penalties, and Rodriguez scores his third of the series. A tip right past Skinner. What vision by Lundell. 2-goal game. Rodriguez, his second goal tonight. Still on their feet in Sunrise. Ekblad sends it out of his own zone. Bouchard for Hyman. Pressured by Stenlund. Hyman gets thrown to the ice. But it's Bouchard. And up for Hyman on the entrance. Backhand, skates it out front. Ekholm shot saved by Bobrovsky, who conveniently shakes off his mask for a whistle. Face off to Bobrovsky's right. Rodriguez will take a seat after his second goal. Nugent Hopkins gets thrown out of the draw. In comes Evander Kane. He wins it. Kulak shot saved by Bobrovsky, who is able to scramble for the loose puck, and gloves come up. Kane and Montour going at it. Linesman getting in between the two of them. Evander Kane known to be a scrappy kind of player. Won't have any trouble dropping the gloves. And penalty? Okay, so matching penalties to Montour and Kane. Kane for grabbing the mask. Montour for roughing. Paul Maurice complaining that he now has to play 4-on-4, and of course that is how Edmonton scored their first and only goal. The faceoff will be in the Florida zone. Draisaitl and Reinhart. Won by Draisaitl to McDavid. McDavid across to Bouchard. Slap shot saved by Bobrovsky. The rebound to Lundell. He's up the ice with Reinhart on side. He has Ekblad the trailer, but he gets it low to Reinhart. Reinhart presses it up against the boards, trying to waste time on this 4-on-4. Puck is loose to McDavid, and he'll skate through the neutral zone. Connor McDavid fumbles with the puck and gives it up. He has not been himself this series. Forsling on the entrance. Tkachuk the move. Tkachuk around the net. Banks it off. Skinner almost went into the net. And it's McDavid on the breakaway. Pressured from behind. Connor McDavid saved by Bobrovsky. And the net comes off for the whistle. Tkachuk and McDavid not happy with one another. McDavid was being hooked and slashed, and Bobrovsky made the stop as McDavid tried to go 5-hole. And no call to Tkachuk. And I guess they're going to break. Rodriguez, the hero of game 2. And about 6 minutes until Florida takes a 2-0 lead in the series on the Edmonton Oilers. Of course, Canada hasn't had a Stanley Cup since, I believe it was 1993 with or might have been 90, somewhere in the 90s with the Montreal Canadiens. Of course, the last attempt Canada had for a cup, at least with the team in the final, was Montreal back in one of those COVID years, probably 2022, when the league was kind of split up awkwardly, and it was the Lightning versus the Canadiens in the final. And the Lightning won that 1 in 5. So they're back from the break. And it's the final break of the game, at least in regulation, assuming the Oilers don't have a miracle comeback. Edmonton has pulled the goalie. So a 4-on-4 becomes 5-on-4, 5:50 to go. The Oilers trying anything to come back. So empty net. The 4-on-4 remains for the next 50 seconds, and then it becomes 6-on-5, assuming they leave the goalie out of the net. But it's Draisaitl on the right, to the point for Nugent Hopkins. Bouchard back to the right, Draisaitl on the dot. Down low, McDavid cycles up to the slot. Draisaitl, bad angle, saved by Bobrovsky. Luostarinen skates it out, goes for goal, wide. 20 seconds to go on the 4-on-4, which is a 5-on-4 at the moment. Henrique for Hyman. Back to Henrique in the corner. And flipped out. And it'll be a delay of game penalty on Ekman Larson. So now Edmonton will have an actual power play. So 4-on-3 for 8 seconds. Delay of game the call. Does Edmonton leave Skinner on the bench? They will put Skinner back on the ice to take the normal power play. There's no sense in not. Montour's up and ready in the box, and now they're waving Skinner back towards the bench, and he has his arms in the air like, what's going on? The Oilers are confused. And he will stay on the bench. So a fake out by Edmonton. It's now 5-on-3 for 8 seconds. 2 players will exit the box, 1 for either side in 5 seconds. Bouchard for McDavid. Down low, Nugent Hopkins tries to send it out front, pop up in front, and it's Reinhart jumping on the loose puck at the blue line, trying to skate ahead. Bouchard stops him there. 6-on-4, 1:40 to go on the power play. 4:30 to go in the game. Around the boards, the puck goes to the left. Reinhart can't clear, but he gets it back and goes for the goal, just wide. Here's Bouchard. 1:20 to go on the power play. He drops it back for Connor McDavid. McDavid sends it over to Nugent Hopkins. The puck bounces on him, but he sends it behind the goal of Bobrovsky. Draisaitl up from the right half wall. Trying to get it out front is Nugent Hopkins, diving for it. It's loose to Draisaitl. Bouchard to McDavid, back to Bouchard, and back to McDavid, left side of the zone. Nugent Hopkins, 55 seconds to go on the power play. Bouchard, back to Nugent Hopkins. Down low, McDavid, trying to find Bouchard. And Nugent Hopkins shot, saved by Bobrovsky. The rebound goes to Draisaitl. Bouchard, McDavid, behind the net. Trying to get it to Draisaitl, but it's a good play by one of the Florida players, and the puck goes out of play for a whistle. It was Forsling with the defensive play. 36 seconds to go on the Edmonton power play. The net's still empty with 3:30 to go in the game. Edmonton drawing closer in shots with 18, but Bobrovsky is standing tall as the Oilers will take a timeout. So they need 2 goals in the next 3:30. $36 seconds to go on the man advantage. Four guys on the ice for Florida having conversation. And this timeout is simply a rest for McDavid, Draisaitl, and company. Face off on the right dot to Bobrovsky's left. 3:30 to go in game 2. Oilers pulling out all the stops. McDavid to Bouchard to Draisaitl. He sort of fouled off the one-timer, but now it's Bouchard again to McDavid. He'll make a move on Lundell, skate towards the slot, but leave behind the puck, which will be cleared down by Lundell. He'll go to the bench, get a tap on the head as the power play winds down. 5 seconds to go before Ekman Larson is out of the box. Here's McDavid on the entrance. Drops it off for Nugent Hopkins. Now it's Bouchard over to Nugent Hopkins. McDavid sends it in front. It's loose to Tkachuk, who falls down and skates or clears it out from his stomach. Sent right back in by Edmonton. Kane can't keep it in, and it's scored! Ekblad says good night from his own blue line, 4-1. Panthers are going to win this one. 2:28 to go. 2 games lead. And Connor McDavid hangs his head, and so will the rest of the Edmonton Oilers, who have been dominated by Florida, who will be 2 wins away from their franchise's first ever Stanley Cup. Bit of a delay here as rats were thrown. Face-off, center ice. Won by Florida, who are 140 seconds away from the end of this one. Shot from the blue line was saved by Bobrovsky. Florida trying to get it out. Down goes an Edmonton player hard. Carrick was hit down, and now it's a one-on-one. Lorenz tries to go into the zone, and it was gloved down aggressively by one of the Edmonton players, and it's a whistle, I believe, for the hand pass as Lorenz gets a stick to the face. More things fly onto the ice, and Desharnais is being skated to the bench, and so should Carrick. So Desharnais, oh boy, he speared Kulikov, threw his stick to the ice. That's a 10-minute misconduct. Clear as day. And then Carrick caught Lorenz in the face. More penalties being announced. So garbage time becomes dirty time. I'm not sure what the main advantages are going to be. Oh, it will be a Florida power play. Just 2 minutes. 5-on-4. And here they go. They'll finish the game with the power play, assuming they don't score, which they just might. Stenlund to Mikkola and back to Stenlund, left side of the zone. Lorentz goes down, keeps it in, gets it back, shoots it wide. Whew. Lorentz, who was, well, not injured, but took a stick to the face in that scrum, takes another shot and sends it wide of the net. Stenlund to Ekman Larson, over to Mikkola. Slap shot, tipped, saved by Skinner. Rebound, Luostarinen can't take control. McLeod will and send it down. 1 second difference between the power play and the game clock. 1 minute to go on both. We want the cup chance in Sunrise. Skinner sends it around the boards, kept in by Florida momentarily. The puck bounced on Tarasenko, who retreats. 45 seconds to go. He'll skate right back in, sends it to the left corner. Tarasenko hit there. Lindell fighting for it. It's loose to Janmark, who will skate it out and into the Florida zone. Short-handed still. 25 seconds remain. Brown to his blue line and back up to Broberg. Enters the zone right side. And Oposo grabbed the puck to ice the game. 10 seconds remain. That'll do it. Florida is victorious in game 2. The Rats fly. The Cats go high to Edmonton. And that'll be the end of this stream. Thank you for watching, anyone who's been in and out. And see you next time.